we are in the theme of Birkat Cohanim, and we know that the Kohanim, they do Natilat Yadayim, perform washing of the hands before reciting the bracha for the community. And the question is, how do they go about Natilat Yadayim? How do they go about washing their hands for Birkat Cohanim? So the Shulchan Aruch says like this. And who should wash the hands for the Kohanim? Should it be only a Levi? Could it be anybody else? Should it be a different Kohen? Should they wash it for themselves? So it says over here, the Shulchan Aruch says, even though the Kohanim wash their hands already in Shacharit, they come and they wash their hand again until the perek, which is the connection between the palm of the hand and the arm. And so that's where the Natilat Yadayim goes until the water has to reach until there. Of course, they do it without a beracha. And according to the Rambam, there's an opinion according to the Rambam that they don't even have to do Natilat Yadayim because they washed in the morning, but we're sensitive to other opinions and therefore they also wash their hands. If there's a case that they cannot, then we are reliant on the Rambam that they go without washing the hands. The question is, who's going to wash the hands for them? Says the Shulchan Aruch, there's many different options, right? Maybe any friend, a Levi, another Kohen themselves. Says Shulchan Aruch ve'alevi yotzek mayim al yadehem. The Levi does the natilat yadayim for them. He washes the hands for them. V'chodem lachen yitor halevi yadav. So it should not be another Kohen that washes the hands for them. Rather, it should only be a Levi that washes the hands for the Kohanim. Now, of course, before the Levi washes the hands for the Kohanim, the Levi needs to make sure that his own hands are pure. Meaning that they have also undergone Natilat Yadayim. It could also be in the morning, but maybe just before then, to have Yadayim Nekiyot, to have pure hands. And it's not different than any other case where you're doing Natilat Yadayim for somebody else. As we know, anybody could also do Natilat Yadayim for bread, for example, for another person, as kavod, as friendship, as whatever it means you want. But in order for you to do Natilat Yadayim and purify somebody else's hands, your own hands have to be adequately purified as well, and therefore the same applies with the Levi. So the Levi does Natilat Yadayim for them. Question is, says the Kaf HaChaim, what if there's no Levi? Can another Kohen do Natilat Yadayim for you? Can anybody else do Natilat Yadayim for you? Says the Kaf HaChaim, don't let another Kohen do the Natilat Yadayim for you. Not a good idea. Okay? Another Kohen should not do the Natilat Yadayim for the other individual Kohen. Why? Well, it's not kavod. Some may think also that the Kohen, the other one that's serving this Kohen, we found a disqualification, we found a bgam. Maybe 2 minutes ago we found out that maybe they're not a kosher Kohen. Maybe their mom was in a situation when they were born and there was a problem. That's why we have to eliminate that. And even if it's a Kohen that everybody knows that this Kohen is not kasher to be Birkat Cohanim for whatever reason, his mom, when he was born, wasn't let's say a Kohen equipped individual, still they cannot do the Natilat Yadayim for the other Kohen. Why? Because if they're not kasher to be Kohanim in the Bet HaMikdash and serve in the Bet HaMikdash, also they shouldn't do Natilat Yadayim for them. So what's the story with the Levi? A Levi is preferred over a disqualified Kohen because the Levi, if we had the Bet HaMikdash today, they could serve, they could open the gates, they do the guarding outside the Bet HaMikdash, they sing, and they sheret techav, and they do a service to the Kohanim, so they still do it today. Well, we have a minhag in Ezra B'Tzarot that when we don't have a Kohen, who does the Natilat Yadayim? Abechor. A firstborn does Natilat Yadayim. The Kaf HaChaim goes into that and discusses that whether or not all the communities did that. It's a good idea. It's worthy to do that or not. And of course, as we can assume and imagine, yes, it's a minhag according to Sfaradim that a firstborn can do the washing of the hands when there is no Levi present for the Kohanim. He says, what type of bechol should it be? He brings an opinion that it should be bechol le'em. Not only bechol le'av, also bechol le'em. Meaning to say, if you were a bechol, that when you were a kid, they had a pidyon haben for you, right? You were the firstborn for your mom, then not only for your father, then you are that type of bechor that everybody loves seeing washing the hands for the Kohanim. But we can either rely on other bechorim. A quick other halacha. that when the Levi does the Natilat Yadayim, or the Bechor for that matter, at least for a Levi, it should be one person doing the Natilah for the Kohanim. So let's say you have 5 Kohanim, you don't need 5 Leviim, each one washing for them, even though they may want the Kavod. One person does the Natilat Yadayim for all those people. There's an idea like that, and that all to prepare ourselves for that. By the way, one of the reasons why we do Natilat Yadayim, us, for bread, and generally, is so that we don't forget the concept of washing the hands only of the Kohanim when the Beit HaMikdash will be rebuilt. We still wanted to have it in our psyche, in our consciousness and awareness, and so when the Beit HaMikdash will be built, it will not be forgotten. The Kohanim are going to go to the temple, they're going to wash their hands and their feet before they serve in the temple. That's why we have that. So it's very interesting to note how Birkat Cohanim Natilat Yadayim brings us even closer to that memory, but the general Natilat Yadayim is there to cushion and safeguard the minhag, so it's not forgotten and so that it is preserved. He brings another interesting halakha. What about washing the feet like the Kohanim used to do in the Beit HaMikdash? Believe it or not, there were some communities that the Kohanim used to do that also, but we don't do that in practice. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen.